Yeah, so these black box NES games were basically the first like earliest titles for the NES, right? So there were about 30 of these games that came out, that included a lot of the ones that we all played, the popular ones like Excite Bike and of course Super Mario Brothers 1, Duck Hunt, but then also like Donkey Kong and baseball and Popeye, pro wrestling, Kung Fu, Clue Clue Land, all these different games. And the reason they're called black boxes because, of course, they're all black boxes. They have like this 8-bit artwork. So this is where a lot of video game collectors kind of initially jumped in because of the nostalgia, right? This is what they grew up with. Nice. Tom says, have a whole box of black box in the basement. Man, that's incredible. People really go crazy over these. So when I was kind of first getting into video games, a lot of this information was really nebulous. I didn't understand the difference between a lot of different games. And of course, coming from comics, we collect variants, we collect the newsstands, we collect foreigns, we collect errors, like all types of shit, right? So kind of really, but when we're looking for something, when we're looking for first appearances and anything like that, we're always looking for the first of everything, right? So it's really hard if you don't know about video games to really understand what you're buying. So I kind of wanted to start with some of this stuff and show you may not be able to get the first ever release just because there may not be enough actual quantity out there for you to collect, but how you can get decipher between a late print and an early print, or at least maybe get one of the earlier prints of a game. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And then, in the coming weeks, I'm going to jump from NES Black Box to regular NES and maybe look at some specific titles, and then look at some of our favorite games growing up, like Sonic the Hedgehog and, Guitar Hero and all these other Halo and all these other games, and try to figure out and decipher what's the earliest, version of the game.
So let's go over some of these games, which just instantly takes me back. Number one, 10-Yard Fight.
I had both of these too.
10-Yard Fight was like such a great game when in 1985, and then we see what we have now, and you go back and see this 10-Yard Fight game. It's unbelievable what you're looking at on some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna bring up a video real quick of 10-Yard Fight for everybody. This just really blows me away.
The sweep left, I believe, was the one that was almost unstoppable.
Yeah, old school 10-Yard Fight, man. I mean,
sound like kung fu.
Hold on, let me. I'll give you guys a little volume here on this one. This is great.
Marcus, you need to make a beat with that for real.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, you guys.
Oh wow.
So there's 10-Yard Fight. That was a fun one back in the day, man.
Can you give me Kung Fu, please?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kung Fu. The boy was trying to get through the girl. All he had was a punch and a kick, and that's it.
Yeah, and I remember,
you know what I'm saying, sweep the foot.
I think that game came out. When did Karate? I remember it was like not far from that, and I remember playing Kung Fu just because I was still hype on Karate Kid back in the day.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I used to play Kung Fu like crazy.
Kung Fu.
I don't think I ever played Kung Fu. I think it always looked too fucking.
You remember that?
You
remember the laugh?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh my God. The kick on the ground was always a good one.
Wait, why was there a midget?
Bro, look, and why they always fall like?
Yeah.
Or a little person, or whatever you're supposed to call him.
Yeah.
A midget. Look, got him.
That's Kung Fu. What else do we have? We had, of course, Excite Bike, one of the greatest games ever played, because of it had the programmable.
Yep.
You could make your own levels.
Wow.
So
it's like I remember
back.
the rich kids had Excite Bike. That was the one that the upper class. I'm not kidding you. They did. That was not a. You couldn't find that at like Walmart. That was a fucking. You had to get that shit like KB and stuff. You couldn't get that one at Walmart because I'll never forget. I went to this one baseball tournament to the rich kid's house and he had Excite Bike and I was like,
this game drove me crazy because you had to have like this. Remember, was the robot with this one, right?
Robot. Yep.
And I never had the robot, but I had the game.
Boy, he almost got smushed.
This looks like a Donkey Kong.
Old school, you guys. So yeah, these are
you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
You really can't.
I mean, you can't pull this up without pulling up Mario Brothers, bro. You gotta at least pull up Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers, Hogan's Alley.
Jesus, pinball.
Soccer, stack up. There we go. There's Mario Brothers, of course, the greatest. But here's the interesting thing: wasn't there a black box Mario Brother arcade one too? Right?
There was. So these are just the first 17 that came out. If you see, it says October 18th, 1985. These were the test market releases. So what they did was they took the first 17 of the 30 black boxes and they released them in test markets, essentially. I think New York and I believe LA were the main test markets for this.
And here's some of the stuff that you want to look for on this that Vinny was talking about earlier. Very important on video game and vintage video game is these little facts, how to tell, real from fake. And, these type of things are what you're looking for. Right.
So and I'll say this is not like a hard and fast. These rules are not hard and fast for all NES games by any means, but this is a pretty good guide to deciphering these black box games and where the print runs fall. There are variations that I'm not going to cover here that are just super, you have to get into the minutia, but this is a good broad spectrum of it. So if we're looking at this Gyromite game, it has a matte sticker seal. So it has like basically a circular sticker that's on there. These early games were not, they were not in plastic. So the first two print runs or the first two, printings of these games were the matte sticker seal and the gloss sticker seal. So you'll see both. These are super hard to find. A lot of these games were the test market games. So they there was also some debate about whether the gloss or the matte, which one came first. I've heard that the matte comes first, but then another one of the experts that I've spoken to, he said that they both were released in different markets at the same time. So we're talking first and second print. Next is the hang tab no code. So if you look right there, there's a hang tab on the back of the box. And then if you look at the top left corner, it's blank. So if there's a code there, then that would be a code variation, just like this, right? So no code comes first, then the hang tab with the code comes after. So now we're getting into third and fourth prints. And also one thing I want you all to notice is all these have a circular seal at the bottom. So a bunch of the first prints, I'd say probably the first 6 or 7 prints have a circular seal, and then they change to an oval seal. I would recommend for people like us, people who are in comics, who are getting into video games, I wouldn't really go too much, especially in the black box games. I wouldn't go too much into the oval seals. If you're going there, you're going into the super late prints. So if you find a game and you're trying to figure out what it is, you can definitely buy it, but it's not. Don't spend like crazy money on an oval seal.
What is crazy money? What do circular seal games? Let's say a circular seal, duck hunt or circular seal 10-yard fight. Circular seal. What do those usually run?
if they're sealed, or if they're sealed or not sealed. I mean, if they're sealed, we're talking 50,000, 100,000. A Circle Seal. Some of the Circle Seal Super Mario Brothers have gone 660,000, a million. I mean, the prices are outrageous. But keep in mind, if you're buying complete in box, which means the box, manual, and cartridge, and for the purposes of complete in box, they don't include any of those inserts that came with it. Awada and the other grading companies don't pay attention to that.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So if you're trying to get like a good CIB version, then you're probably talking, probably a few thousand. Probably
That's not bad.
Depending on the quality of it.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So we went from, hang tab, no code, hang tab with code. Then this is a flat back. So there's no hang tab on the back. And from there, there's a flat back with the code. We don't see this pictured, but there's a Circle Seal Rev A. So what you'll see is just like on this game right here at the bottom, you have an oval seal. Before this comes a Circle Seal with a Revision A written at the bottom right-hand corner. And what Revision A means is basically it means that it went from a 5-screw NES cartridge to a 3-screw. 99% of the time. It doesn't mean that all the time for whatever reason, but it just means that there was some revision to the cartridge, but that's what it typically means.
And here's an oval seal for everybody that's wondering what the difference is. You guys can see the oval seal here.
So this is going to be a later print. I mean, and something like a game like Super Mario Brothers 1, we're talking about 11 to 13 printings of this game. And you have to also think about how many millions of this game were printed, right? So, I mean, of course, I'm never going to say don't buy a sealed copy of any printing of Super Mario Brothers 1, but just be careful and be aware of what you're looking at. So just to reiterate, Nintendo matte sticker sealed, gloss sticker sealed, hang tab with no code in the corner, hang tab with the code in the corner, the flat back, Circle Seal with Revision A, and then after that, oval seal with Revision A. So that's
and here's what you were talking about, complete in box. Having all the inserts and stuff, right? You have the game manual, the bag that it was in, the little styrofoam piece.
Yep.
And I remember always trying to find these, right? Everybody was always trying to find these. You always got these ruined, and you steal them from your friends and shit.
So that's kind of like a broad overview of it. Something to keep in mind when you're looking at collecting complete in box versions of these games. For example, if you go to a store, like I went to Second and Charles not too long ago, and I found a nice black box game, but the pieces don't always match. So the code, you have to look at the manual, you have to look at the cartridge, you'll have to look at the box. You might have a situation like I did where you pick up a box and it's a Circle Seal, but then you open it up and the cartridge is actually an oval seal. Or you might have a Circle Seal with no Rev A, and then you open it up and you see a Circle Seal with the Rev A. So it's a non-matching part for the game.
Yeah, and that's not surprising to me that happens a lot, right? Because people are just trying to put things together, and they don't know that a 3-screw doesn't go with a Circle Seal, or whatever, that type of stuff is what you're getting at, and they're just selling them.
Yeah, and then also if you can scroll back up to that last game we were on baseball. Now, see where it says Nintendo and Entertainment System. The earliest versions also of the game did not have a TM right next to the word system. As we got further along, then there was a TM, and then as we got further along from there was an R for registered trademark. So I think a few things to keep in mind are, Circle Seals before oval seals, number one, right? Also, no TM before registered trademark. So that's always also a good rule of thumb, even if you're looking at other games that fall outside of the scope of the black box variants.
So, what is the rarest black box game?
I honestly don't know. I'm more of a. I've bought a bunch of these games, but I'm more of a
Completist?
No, I'd say I'm looking for the first of everything. So I've gone really deep, down the rabbit hole for like into Japanese games. I've gone into PC games. I've gone into a bunch of that stuff. So I'm not like an expert when it comes to rarity. But I do know that that a lot of these games, finding them with the stickers, as opposed to the actual wrap, that's a lot of those are rare if you can find that version of these games.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. And here's the we were talking about earlier about Gyromite having to use the robot. Here's a
You've
quick
seen him in
little
Smash.
example.
Now let's see him for real. We're gonna play.
What in the fuck is?
Yeah.
Rob the robot.
It's hard to find one that works.
Bro, that thing is loud as shit.
Bro, I guarantee you not one of these was shipped to the state of Oklahoma. I'm not kidding you. There is not one of these that ever made it.
But I haven't seen many videos of this on YouTube, so I decided to take a video of it.
That is so crazy.
So ridiculous.
Rob,
It is.
when I spin it, I hope it doesn't fly off. They have a tendency to do that, but Rob has a pretty good grip.
But Rob has a pretty good grip.
So there you guys go. There's the old school robot. I remember thinking that robot was so cool until I saw it and what it does, and it just does this shit.
Yeah.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no lie.
like I picked up an Excite bike not too long ago from one of the video game stores. It was about $100, but again, like if you guys have some of this knowledge, you'll kind of know what you're looking at. We're looking at a Circle Seal game, no TM next to the entertainment system, so we know that's early. It's a hang tab, no code on this side. So those are, again, those are all the
for $100. That seems like a pretty damn good steal for Excite Bike.
Yeah.
Dude, Vinny is saving you guys 82 hours of fucking scouring Reddit. I'm dead ass serious. The information he just gave you guys was 5 days of your life if you don't realize that.
Dude, all this stuff was on WADA. What's interesting is WADA had a black box variant guide, which was, it really, you'd have to sit down for like 12 days to like study this thing to even figure it out. But I noticed that they took it down. So I think that there's been a bit of discrepancy in some of the prints and what they were identifying. So I think that they took it down so that people don't get pissed off. This is a Super Mario Brothers 1 that I got. And again, just looking at these things that we talked about. So there's a TM right there. So we know it's a little bit later of a print. Circle Seal, no revision A. So this is a flat back with the code. So this is coming after what I was telling you guys about with the hang tabs. So this is probably a later print, but it's still a pretty rare game to have.
So a 5.5 WADA graded, what does that run nowadays?
Probably a couple grand.
Not bad.
Oh,
bad.
good. You can send to me. That's fine. That's perfect.
It's Marcus's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of that, hey, so look, what do we do with this?
Oh my God, bro.
Is it open? Did you open it, Marcus?
I did. I had to make sure the shit was in there.
You don't do that, man. You don't do that. You know why? Let me show you something. Show the edge of it. Show the side.
Which one? Right here?
Yeah. So any of these things like this, along that, not the side where the flap is, but the other side. No, you're showing the right part. You're showing the right part. But the other side, when you open these boxes, if they have not been opened, if they're not sealed, what will happen is there will be a crease or flakes that you'll get along that edge,
like prestige
right
format
here,
comic books. Yep.
Yeah, when you open it up, so that's how they can actually tell if it's been opened or not. The graders. So something to keep in mind: if you have something that you think's have been unopened, look at it, see if there's any white flakes on that side, and if it's not, it might be unopened, and it might be worth grading.
So
That's gorgeous.
yeah, look. So as I look at this, I see the oval. See the oval? It's not circular. It's oval. I got it from Dillard's or whoever. Somebody got it from Dillard's. It said Dillard's.
My mom
The
loves
greatest
fucking
to
Dillard's.
me, that is the greatest gaming system ever created, right there, in my opinion.
It's still
Super
everything's still in
Nintendo
the plastic.
has the greatest game ever made in A Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Tecmo Bowl, Super Punch Out, which was a great fucking, like, those three games right
Super
there.
Metroid. Super
Metroid. Oh man, I love that. I love that.
Tom was asking how much it costs to get games graded. I have some at VGA right now. Each game is about $120, I think, at VGA. I haven't graded with WADA yet, but it's about the same kind of cost you're looking
Don't
at.
you think it's weird that this WADA company tests for steroids and does game grading?
Yes.
It's a weird.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah,
Crazy.
man. I think that the game collecting is going to open up a whole new world to our viewers in our community, especially when we got somebody like Vinny that can, like Trey was saying, drop in the Cliff Notes version of this stuff.
It's a hack.
And it is.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like, when we stop by stores all the time, and you see something, you just know real quick if it's unopened or if it's open. Look inside, make sure everything matches. Take a look at these seals, see what you're looking at, see if it's early, see if it's late. You can kind of get a gauge of what you're looking at. Also look at the quality of it. Are you looking at tears in the box? Is it beat up? Is there scuffing along the cartridge? I mean, kind of the same things we would look for in comics, but these games have been probably beat up a lot more.
Absolutely.
Some of these games, he's got
what the
Rarity,
fuck is that?
and this was the Mario Arcade Classic
Yeah,
system.
that's the one that was in that's the arcade joint. That's the one that when you would go into the video game spot, you could play that one.
Yeah, this right here.
Now, speaking of Rarity, Brian, I'm going to drop you WADA did drop a pop report for sealed NES games. So if you do want to take a look at that, I just dropped it in the private.
100%. Yeah, let's take a look at this. This is very interesting to me. So here we go, you guys. Rarity pop report on sealed NES games. 10-yard fight, a total of 14. 4 of 6 in 1. You got only 2 of AD&D Dragon Strike.
I mean, these things are super freaking rare. Of course, there's going to be warehouse fines. Of course, there's going to be storage fines. But there's a lot of these that have been sent in for grading, and the reports are super low, super low.
That's amazing.
All these numbers are low, bro. Like, if you just think about it in the grand scheme of things, these were games that were literally fucking everywhere. And 14 in total, 12, 26, 17. That's money in my book.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that when you're looking at some of these, you may never even see a first, second, third, or fourth print, but you might find a sealed 5th print or 7th print. So it's kind of all about what you can get. And with numbers this low, I think it still makes sense. If you can, Brian, look down at Super Mario Brothers. You can kind of
let's go all. There we go. Castlevania there. Castlevania on there. Let's go all.
Castlevania 4 with Alucard as the main character. It was one of my fucking all-time favorite Super NES games, by the way.
Absolutely.
164 of Legend of Zelda. So it's 164 of that.
16 of Legend of Cage. I had
Mega Man. There's only 12 of Mega Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
You know what's a game that I love? TNC Surf Shop. Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah,
that was an awesome game, man. I love
Hubert, Rampart, bro. This is amazing. This is taking me back. Section Z, I had that game. Shinobi.
Yep.
Oh, Shinobi. I love Shinobi.
You remember Shinobi? Bartman meets Radioactive Man, The Simpsons. Yeah.
And I'm going to dig in also, guys, on a lot of these games later on down the line. I just want to kind of get through some of the
stadium
American
events.
games, nostalgia, but like a game like Section Z, that was a Japanese game. Like Double Dribble was a Japanese game. Like a lot of these games that we really like, Blades of Steel,
That's my Blades of Steel was so much fun, man.
Let's just put this out here right now. Double Dribble was the ultimate 2K before 2K. Don't at me on that. Double Dribble, period. If you can play 2K and all that other shit, play Double Dribble. Get your system, get your emulator, jump on Double Dribble with the dunk.
Brian, click on the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, look at that.
So if you look, these are the variations that have actually been graded. But if you notice, there's no matte sticker sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers. And if you guys have ever seen the Pawn Stars copy of Super Mario Brothers 1, where the guy came on and he was asking for $1 million, that is the one copy, that gloss sticker sealed, and what they've called a second print of Super Mario Brothers 1.
Right here.
Dude, Storage Wars was another one of them shows that got me through some fucking nights, buddy.
Yep.
who was the shit bag trying to sell it?
What's that?
That was Pawn
Which
Stars.
one? I know, but which one of them was it?
I don't remember.
It had to have been that Daryl cocksucker.
Daryl.
The white dude.
He got the comic. He had the comic find.
Yeah, I guarantee you, the dude always had the sleeveless shirts on. I think he was from Arizona too.
I hated the guy that used to always go, "Yup."
Oh,
yep.
He got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, deservedly
Dave.
so.
He was Dave.
Yeah.
But games, man. Look at like Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3. I mean, 3 was like such a massive game, and there's only 291 sealed copies graded.
Solo Wookie. We got a fucking winner, boys. Solo Wookie. Make Gretzky bleed. Greatest game ever. NHL 1994. We have you get to pick whatever you want, sir. We have the Tesla Supercharger, the Batman Begins Steelbook, the hybrid NFTs, or the Topps Chrome Sealed. Solo, you got a first pick. That one is a fucking winner, my friend.
Nice one, Solo. Let us know what you want, brother.
Yeah, DM Brian or put in the chat whatever one of those you want, buddy. We got one winner. We got 3 more to go, too.
Nice.
Tecmo Bowl, 31 Tecmo Bowl.
Ooh, jump on that.
So what happened was when they released this pop report, like immediately people were looking at this and hitting eBay to try to find all of them, because they were like, okay, what? Actually, there was a leak before this came out, like a supposed leak, and people weren't sure if these numbers were right or not. And they were like, damn, are there really only this few copies graded by WATA? Now, keep in mind, this is only WATA's pop report. VGA, which is another big company, they have not released their pop report, but I still don't think the numbers are too much crazier than this. And the thing is, VGA has been around for about 10 years. WATA has been around since like 2019-ish. And a lot of people who came into the hobby from comics, they went straight to WATA, and they converted a bunch of the VGA games that have been like essentially legacy graded games over to WATA games a few years ago. So there's a lot of that happened as well.
Wow, man, listen, Top Gun.
Ooh, Top Gun landing on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah. Oh, man, remember landing on the carrier. Oh,
you know what Top Gun had two of the greatest moments in video games. Landing on the aircraft carrier and refueling, and then the song. God dang it, you're not wrong. Oh man, that takes me back.
I wish I had an IMAX theaters in my fucking so I could just watch. I literally I could watch part 2 once a week for the rest of my life and be okay with it. And you throw in one about twice a year, everything's good.
Oh man, this is
Wheel of Fortune was a fucking fun NES game. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes. Wizards and Warriors, Wheel of Fortune, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a good game as well.
My favorite was Sports Jeopardy. Do you remember Sports Jeopardy?
I do.
Yep.
My family and I played that shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame of my mom to buy it now that I think about it, but at the time she tricked me a little bit. But it's okay.
Now a lot of people are on the NES, train already. This is kind of where people jumped in, so everything is pretty much a I've mentioned some of like the earlier versions of these games, so I would recommend probably doing your research and trying to find some of this stuff. Of course, I'll talk about it in upcoming episodes, but then also look at PC and think about the games that were popular for us growing up. If you were in that era, SimCity, King's Quest, Duke Nukem, Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, all those types of games are interesting as well. And people have jumped in a little bit, but they haven't gone too far in PC yet, and I think that's going to really go crazy pretty soon as well.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I think everybody in the chat is just going crazy as we're going through these. That's the type of stuff that we love. Nostalgia. Like I say, it's the most dangerous drug next to fentanyl out there right now, man. It'll make you drop your wallet on the craziest shit ever, like soccer from NES.
Patrick said, can't believe nobody brought up Metroid.
We talked about Metroid.
Metroid actually, they said that Metroid might actually be considered, even though it was like a white box. I think it was released around the same time as these black box variants. So it was Metroid, Kid Icarus, and one other game. And if you look also, by the way, at Metroid and Kid Icarus, both of those games are sister games. They were programmed by the same team, and it's essentially the same game reskinned and then changed around. So just interesting tidbit about those games.
Yeah, Metroid was amazing. When you found
Vinny's
out
brain's too big.
Yeah.
Man.
Vinny, my guy.
So anyways,
Urban Champion. I never knew this game. Did you guys ever see this game?
I did. I played it.
I don't remember this.
Of course, Marcus had it. If anybody he's one of the 13 people that owned it, and he's going to find it next week, and he's going to retire.
It's going to be in his garage next to his bulletproof.
If I go upstairs, it's a wrap. So hey, I feel like the NES was upstairs. I just came back from upstairs. I disappeared, went upstairs.
Marcus had all the random shit. He's the guy that went to Blockbuster and like rented that. What was that movie where there was like a snowman killing people?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Dude, it's sad that our kids won't understand what it was like to try to get a video of a hard-to-get movie on a Friday night at Blockbusters.
Man, they will never understand. Jesus Christ. You get
the waiting in the parking lot to see other cars pull up just to see if they drop movies in the box so you could run in there and ask the high school kid, was it fucking whatever you're looking for? I mean, The amount of times I did that in my life is uncountable.
Yeah, you would go through the recently returned ones on the little cart. That was the first place you went.
Come on, Metroid. I'm sorry, switching gears. Metroid Code, Justin Bailey. Y'all remember that?
I got a story for this.
Is that a winner?
I got a kid.
That is a winner.
Patrick Delagano.
Yes,
whatever.
Patrick,
has Solo Wookie made his choice yet?
No, Solo Wookie hasn't made his choice. Chad, let us know, brother. Solo Wookie, let us know what you want out of those 4 giveaways that Trey had, brother. Yeah. So the Justin Bailey code was such a big moment for me as a kid because I remember specifically sitting at home playing Metroid and just totally not being able to get anywhere, on the mother brain fight. Like, it was so hard to get on the mother brain fight. And I remember my mom calling me. I was at home. She called me from her job and she goes, "Hey, my coworker said if you put this code into Metroid, it helps you on the game." And it was Justin Bailey. And I remember the first time that I saw the chick go, and I was floored. I was like, Metroid's a chick? What the hell?
Samus. And then the music was just amazing. I mean, I'm sure for Vinny as well, and I'm guessing everybody here, man, music has been such a part of my life. I've known I wanted to do music since I was 6 years old. So anytime, you playing games and I'm listening to the music for Mario Brothers, Mega Man, Metroid, all of that stuff. You get to the end of it and the music is so beautiful and the chord changes and then the clothes, then she starts glowing and then she turns out it's a female and you're like, oh shit, she's a girl. Oh my God, she's been whooping ass and she's a girl. Oh, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was good shit. It was good shit.
I just gave a 40-year-old spoiler alert.